What's up, everybody? We've got a new episode of The Ones Who Live to go over, and as always, there will be spoilers here in my breakdown, so you've been warned. Now let's get into episode 4. This one picked up right where we left off last week as Michonne rips Rick out of the CRM chopper to force his hand into leaving them behind after she finally found him. As the episode goes on, specifically in the first half or so of the episode, like first 25 minutes, we see Michonne continue to just try, and well, I think she'd put it this way: whip Rick's ass into shape. He's a broken man at this point. She knows it. He knows it. But only one of them is accepting it. So she just continues to dig deeper and deeper until she admits that she doesn't know if Judith is okay. She tells Rick about their son finally, which really kind of, just reminded me just how out of the loop they both are with everything that went down back home towards the end of The Walking Dead, the main show. And how, this journey they're on, they really don't know what they're going home to, but hope is keeping them alive. Then, as the sun rises and the storm fades away, we see the chopper they were in smashed into the building next to them, and the building they're holed up in. And I'm assuming here that the combination of the storm and Michonne ripping Rick out is what led to this crash, but the why isn't as important as what comes from it. As Rick tells Michonne after it happens, the CRM comes in with another chopper, which we saw they have no shortage of vehicles and armed vehicles and everything they need to be a militia, and cleans house, destroying the helicopter and all evidence that they exist. Secrecy is of the utmost importance for the CRM, and they really go to great lengths to ensure it. But when they destroyed the helicopter, they also opened up Rick and Michonne to all the walkers outside their building and doomed them if they don't get out of there as fast as possible as the building is falling apart. So they do what they do best and fight through the hallways of walkers right off the bat. It does kind of seem like the power duo is back, like they're back in the good old days, but that does quickly change right back when Rick still refuses to leave. Luckily, Michonne just won't accept that as reality because she knows Rick just doesn't want this. She finally does get through to him, and we learn the real reason he stayed at the CRM is that he finally learned how to be dead and still living, to put all fear behind him, because if he can just know he sent her back to live, he can imagine that she's still alive, even if he doesn't know that for a fact. All that was a result of him not being able to see Carl anymore in his dreams and rationalizing that as the CRM taking Carl away from him. The episode ends as Rick and Michonne both escape the building just in time, reinvigorated with love for each other and the will to get back to their children as they start their journey home. So, just really quick, you know, I do have a little tiny nitpick about this episode. I emphasis on tiny nitpick, and it's kind of about the whole show in general too. And it's just that I haven't loved the action sequences or the involvement of walkers. The story's been great, everything else great, performances, but this action compared to the other spin-off shows, and obviously, the main show that started this all, this one's definitely been the weakest in that regard. But based on the next episode preview we got at the end of this one, we've got some good stuff coming. So I hope the final 2 episodes can change my feelings about this. But that's it. That's all I've really got to complain about with this episode, because once again, I really like this week's entry. I've made it no secret throughout the whole show that I've been very impressed with how flawlessly both Denai and Andy came back to their roles after being away for a while, and this episode was basically the team behind this show being like, yeah, we know, they're pretty fucking awesome, because it's all them, and it worked so well. I also think it was just a perfect time for one of these episodes. Like, Michonne has this moment towards the end of the episode where she says we gotta figure out where we're going before we go, and that just sums up the whole episode and show and why I've loved it so much, and it's been so perfect for me. Like, I love what they're doing with these characters, and I really, really love where the show's at now at the end of this episode. And so that'll do it for my breakdown of the 4th episode from The Ones Who Live. This show's batting 100 right now for me personally, and there's not much else to say about it. I really do love what they're doing here. But let me know what you thought about this episode down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.